Hi, folks. David Robertson here for Prophetic Perceptions. Today, I want to share some things with you the Lord has shown me concerning President Trump and the 2020 election. So, back in May of 2016, I voted for Ted Cruz in the presidential primaries, and he seemed like the natural choice for Christian conservatives. And of course, Donald Trump won the primary in New York State. And a few days later, I was asking the Lord about Trump, and this is what I heard. Trump is my man. He will shake things up. He will shake up the political system. He cannot be bought or sold, and he will make this nation strong. So we know that President Trump is certainly not a perfect man by any means, but I believe he is God's man for this hour, and that God is using him. He's done a lot of good things, including fighting for religious freedom, fighting to protect the unborn, and standing with Israel. And then in March 2018, when Trump was president, of course, I had a dream. And in this dream, I was in an auditorium for President Trump's inauguration party. And there was a call for those who wanted to come up higher to a balcony, but there was only room for 400. And I went following the other people. When I got near the balcony, some were turning around and going back down the stairs to their original seat. I thought this meant that the upper level was full. I felt disappointed, but I decided to go up and check it out anyway. And it turned out that there were seats still available, so I found one. And for some reason, the section I was in was facing out instead of towards the stage, which was to the side. And there was a second, smaller stage up there where I knew President Trump would be speaking later. I turned back towards the main stage along with others. There was a large TV screen that allowed us to see what was going on. There was a famous worship leader doing an upbeat praise song. I started dancing, and others did too. I felt lighter than air, and I was doing a high speed soft shoe tap dance, and I was wearing running shoes. I heard something about a dance contest, which I decided to enter. The music shifted to a slower song, Shine on You, Crazy Diamond. So, the interpretation. What I believe the Lord was showing me was President Trump's second inauguration party. As when I had this dream, he was well into his first term. So I believe that this is his will for President Trump to have a second term. The auditorium speaks of being in the public eye and success. The balcony speaks prophetic vision. The Lord is calling us as his people to come up and see from his perspective rather than looking at President Trump in the natural. The number 400 speaks of fullness of time or a period of divine perfection. It is significant that this November will be 400 years since the Pilgrims landed in Plymouth, Massachusetts. I believe the second, smaller stage speaks of a call on President Trump to come to a higher place, receive prophetic revelation, and speak it forth. The large TV screen speaks of a large vision. The worship leader, praise, and dancing have to do with religious freedom that President Trump has fought for, and us as the church rejoicing in that freedom. The song Shine on You, Crazy Diamond, I believe has to do with the Lord's call to his church to arise and shine. Trump's presidency has given us, the church, a reprieve and window of opportunity, but we know that unless there's a major move of God in and through us as his people, our nation will continue in a downward spiral. And so, as I was seeking the Lord regarding this dream and the significance of the number 400, this is what I heard. I remember my covenant. I remember the covenant your forefathers made with me when they dedicated this land for my glory and the propagation of the gospel. I will not let this nation go under, but I will continue to save by my righteous right hand. There shall be great rejoicing as you see the righteous rule, as you see your president re-elected. For he is a man chosen by me for such a time as this. But you must vote. You must partner with me to see my purposes fulfilled. It's not just about a president, it's about my people rising up in authority and influence in every sphere of society. So rise up, agree with me in my plan for your area, state, and nation, not just through a man, but through you, the body of my son, my representatives in the earth. The revolution continues, and great turnaround will come as you first turn to me and then go forth into society. So here the Lord is speaking about the president being reelected, but as you heard, part of the word was also that we must get out and vote. There's other prophetic voices that have had revelation about a second term for President Trump, but as different ones have pointed out, we shouldn't take that for granted. We need to pray, we need to vote, we need to do our part as the Church of Jesus Christ. So we know that one important issue is not just a political issue, it's a moral issue, it's a spiritual issue, is the issue of abortion. And the Lord said to me, I will hold my people accountable if they vote for leaders who support abortion. This has been confirmed by several different Christians since then, one of them an ordained evangelist that I know. And I was watching Sid Roth just recently, and he was talking about voting for those who stand for life. And he said, I don't want their, referring to the baby's, blood to be on my hands. And obviously, this doesn't mean that we bear the whole weight of responsibility. But if we vote for those who support abortion, we'll be held accountable for our part. So, the shedding of innocent blood through abortion is one of the greatest blights upon our nation and is fueling the demonic powers. I believe this issue is foremost on the heart of God. And I've heard different arguments and justifications for voting for the party that supports abortion, the Democrats, such as they help people in need, thereby driving down the number of abortions. And while this may be true, the number is not greatly reduced. And also, my response to this is, are you telling me that poor people can't behave in a moral manner? While economics certainly play a role in the decision to abort a child, the majority of people find themselves in these difficult situations in the first place because of sexual immorality. And also, the shedding of innocent blood brings a curse, Genesis 4:12. It brings a curse. We cannot bring people out of poverty, and we cannot break the cycle of poverty when people are continuing to murder babies. The government sanctioning of abortion brings blood guilt and a curse upon us all. It says in Psalm 106, 36 through 38, and they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. Yes, they sacrificed their sons and daughters unto devils, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. You know, people have accused me, they probably accused you as well, because I know many of you out there are pro-life, of being a one-issue voter. Well, if that issue is life, then yeah, because that's the most important thing. I mean, that's the first thing we need to look at. Are they for life? Because without life, what else do you have? I believe every other issue, while they may be important, pales in comparison to this life issue and this issue of abortion. You know, and there's been laws that have been passed the last number of years that have restricted abortion, and that has greatly contributed to the reduction of the number of abortions as well. You know, I've also heard the argument that Republican politicians don't always do a lot to restrict or end abortion. And while this has been true at times, there's also been cases, especially in recent years, where Republicans came up with a common sense bill to restrict abortion, and Democrats voted against it, and it didn't pass. The Pain Capable Unborn Child Protection Act comes to mind. This was a bill in the U.S. Senate that sought to restrict abortion after 20 weeks, and that's the point at which a baby in the womb has a fully developed nervous system, and we know that they can feel pain. How can someone be so cruel and heartless that they won't even move to protect the innocent child that feels pain from being ripped apart in the womb? President Trump and his administration have done much to promote life, including taking away funds from Planned Parenthood. Joe Biden supports abortion. He said, "I support a woman's right to choose. I support it's a constitutional right. I supported it and I will continue to support it. And I will, in fact, move as president to see to it that the Congress legislates that this is the law as well." So, Joe Biden, he recognizes that we're in a battle for the soul of our nation, but with stances like this, that battle will not be won. Mother Teresa said this: "We must not be surprised when we hear of murders, of killings, of wars, of hatred. If a mother can kill her own child, what is left but for us to kill each other? A nation that kills its children in the womb has lost its soul." And Kamala Harris is very pro-abortion as well, probably even more so than Biden. She actually, as Attorney General of California, decided to prosecute David Daleiden and the Center for Medical Progress for their undercover videos exposing the illegal sale of baby body parts. So rather than prosecuting Planned Parenthood for their illegal activities, she was going after David Daleiden and his colleagues. You know, it says in the Bible, acquitting the guilty and condemning the innocent, the Lord condemns them both. And I just want to say also regarding this issue of life, I know probably many of you watching this are already on the same page with this, but hopefully some that maybe aren't will see this and change their minds. You know, some people say, well, I'm personally against abortion, but, you know, if somebody else wants to do it, I don't want to force my beliefs upon them. Well, you know, that may be good for some things, but this issue of life is not one of them. Because if we truly believe that a baby in the womb is a human being and therefore that abortion is murder, then we should be fighting to protect the unborn and saying that murder is wrong and that abortion should be illegal. Because otherwise we have unjust weights and balances. We're saying that one life is worth more than another. That's not right. So, as we're in a battle for the soul of our nation, we know that that battle must be won by the church. First on our knees, and then by going out and proclaiming the good news of Jesus Christ. We know that the government certainly plays a role in how our nation goes, but first and foremost is up to the church. We need a mighty move of God, but we must also be willing to move with Him when He moves. He said to me, "I will not win the victory for you, but I will do it through you." So as we enter into the election season, we're well into it. I had written this thing out a little while ago, but so as we're in the election season, let's align ourselves with the Lord and with His purposes. May we hear the word of the Lord and respond accordingly. Our allegiance is to be to Jesus Christ, not to a political party. Again, the issue of life is foremost on the heart of God. And the king will answer them, Truly I say to you, as you did it to one of the least of these my brothers, you did it to me. Matthew 25:40. So let's vote for leaders who stand for biblical values and encourage those in our spheres of authority and influence to do the same. Let's continue to cry out to God for a mighty move of His Spirit, that this area, this state, this nation would turn back to Him, and many would be saved, healed, delivered, and set free. Amen. God bless you.